Now, 400 children of immigrant workers are to be deported from Israel in a drive by the government to preserve what they call the Jewish character of the state. Despite being born in Israel and speaking Hebrew, they say they are not treated as citizens of the country. And as RT's Paul Eslia reports, the situation has many people questioning what it means to be Israeli.
He's 5,500 miles away from most of his family, living in a country where his mother's unemployed and frightened. And now they're about to be deported. But this is the only world 4-year-old John Michael knows. Born in Israel, he speaks Hebrew, his friends are Israeli, and he understands precious little about the place he's about to be sent to, the very place his mother came from, the Philippines. She asks us not to name her.
He learns, he speaks with their language, he knows their food, their friends. I asked him one time, JM, you like to go to Philippines? Philippines? F4? Where's Philippines? Of course, he don't know the place. In my country, where my papa is. And he said, okay, Ima, I'll go to Philippines with my friends. How can I explain to him?
It was a journey that started with so much hope. John Michael's mom, like 40,000 other Filipinos, was lured with the dream of work and a new life in the promised land. But soon after she became pregnant, she was fired and her visa cancelled. For months now, Israelis have been torn over what to do about the future of hundreds of children who, like John Michael, are born and bred in Israel, but who are not considered Israeli citizens. Most of the children's parents arrived in Israel in the early 90s. They replaced cheap Palestinian labor that was becoming harder for Israelis to access. Curfews and roadblocks had made it difficult for Palestinians to get permits to work in Israel, which is why today as many as 500,000 foreign workers live in Israel, earning much more than they would back home. But the payoff is the uncertainty that now clouds their children's future.
The Interior Ministry says it has to deport these children because there are already so many illegals in this country. It says they threaten the Jewish character of the state. But it's a controversial decision that has many asking why children should have to pay the price for the government's lack of a clear policy.
And the anger of many has spilled over onto the streets. After months of thinking it over, the Israeli government now says it will deport 400 foreign children and their families who do not match strict criteria that would have allowed them to stay in Israel. These include living in Israel for 5 years, being part of the school system, and having parents with valid work permits.
The holiday is over. They make 10 times more money here than they do in other countries, like Romania, for example. Enough with this hypocrisy. Will any of these children rise up and cry? Stop talking rubbish. They will return to their families. That's where they need to be.
But protesters say it's by expelling children that the very character of the Jewish state is threatened.
For me personally, it's knowing these children, working with them already for 3 years, seeing them and understanding that they're not only Israeli, they're the best Israeli because they love this country. They just want to contribute and be a part of us. So I really can't understand how anyone that really knows them can stand aside and let them be deported from their homeland.
It is very, very important that the democratic part of Israeli public opinion will make its voice very loud and very clear and press the politicians to make the right decision.
Israeli law says that every Jew around the world has the right to Israeli citizenship. But for John Michael, who's Israeli in every sense of the word, just not his faith, that citizenship is a distant reality. He's one of the 400 children threatened with deportation. Paul Eslia, RT, Tel Aviv.